TSF Entertainment.
Yo, and welcome back to TSF Entertainment. This time we are bringing you BMF Episode 2 exclusive photos and prediction. Some of these photos you have possibly seen before, some of them you possibly have not. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. Episode 2 synopsis says Meech focuses on expanding BMF into Atlanta while Terry balances maintaining BMF in Detroit, new restaurant business venture, and his family. Terry looks for ways to generate revenue for BMF, yet Meech comes through with Colombian connects to keep them afloat. So in this first scene here, we see Meech in none other than the studio, which more than likely he's probably talking to Duffy, and they're going over some things on how they're going to expand the business, mark their territory down there in Atlanta. While during this conversation, we see that Meech gets a call. Now, from the looks on his face, doesn't sound like that it is a good call. It sounds like he's getting some type of bad news, which is possibly the bad news about their current connect. Now, what we do know is that we will get a new player this season. We will get a new connect that Meech will meet, whose name is Loco. So I'm guessing here this is possibly the phone call that he's getting, as the synopsis says that Meech will meet with new Colombian connect. So to piggyback off of that, we see T and Hoop here in the restaurant, and they are looking at the TV. And from the looks of it, it looks like it is bad news. So from them watching the TV, I'm thinking possibly this is where they find out what happened with the connect that they currently had. So it could be where they're watching TV and they find out that the connect got arrested, or possibly he got unalived of some sort. So not sure. It could possibly be something else, but I'm leaning more towards this is how they find out about their current connect. Here we have Sterl and Hoop sitting at T's new restaurant, just sitting down, having something to eat, laughing, joking with none other than T. And while they're sitting down, laughing and joking with T, we have Detective Amberson and Detective Jen outside watching them. If you watched last week's trailer, we also saw that Jen was outside taking pictures of T. So we know that they are going to be back focused on T, especially for the unaliving of Saint, who shot at T and Marquisha at the end of last season. So they're going to be watching T like a hawk and try to somehow, some way connect him into that murder and get him arrested. Here we have T and Marquisha. And judging from the background, I'm going to assume this is the new house that T purchased that he told Marquisha about in the hospital. Um, you see new walls, new bed, everything. Also, from Marquisha's face, she looks like she is a little concerned. So I'm going to assume, maybe guess here, that Marquisha is telling T that she heard the streets are talking about Saint getting took out, and that T was the one behind it. And now that she is worried that Boom Crew is going to retaliate off of this and possibly just want T to get out the game altogether, which is ironic because it was the same thing that Wanda wanted him to do. But we do see that Marquisha has a very concerned look on her face. Here we have a new character that we are being introduced to in episode 2. This character's name is none other than Dr. Maurice Montclair. He was Lucille's ex from high school before Charles took her away. So after seeing her again, he wants to rekindle that flame that he and Lucille had. So we know this will be Lucille's new love interest this season. Not sure where he met her. I'm gonna assume there's been a picture floating around with Lucille and Nicole outside, looked like they were at a bake sale of some sort. And I'm going to assume here this is where the doctor bumps into Lucille again. So again, we do know that this is Lucille's new love interest this season. But I'm also sure that Charles will not be happy about that. He is going to fight tooth and nail to keep Lucille. Here in this scene here, we have none other than Meech. I'm not sure whose house he's in, but what we do know from the trailer is that he ended up being shot at. We don't know exactly who shot at him or if there was multiple people shooting at him, but we do know that he gets shot at and also takes someone out in the process. I'm going to assume that it was none other than the MKs, and it's a retaliation after the conversation that Meech and Glock had outside of the club. So we already saw the MKs try to take Meech as well as Remy Ransom's people out on the last episode, and I think here MKs they're going to try it again and try to get him out of here as Meech is trying to come in and take over the territory. Here we have Detective Amberson and Detective Jen down in the diner, just eating, having some sort of chat. Not sure what they are discussing, but more than likely it has none other to do. I'm sorry, more than likely they're discussing none other than tea and possibly getting to know each other a little more, as we saw from the last episode that Jen thinks that Amberson only got her detective role due to nepotism. So we know Amberson is going to be this season trying to prove that she's an actual good detective and she earned her raise to become a detective. We also here in this scene possibly see where Amberson tries to learn a little bit more about Jen. Um, Maybe both of them will try to learn a little bit more about each other. Amberson may possibly ask, Jen about Bryant, his whole situation, and why she was booted from the task force in the first place. So here in this scene, we have T, Herp, and Sterl show up, which looks like it is an underground gambling spot, and we are also introduced to a new character named none other than Ren King. In the trailer, Ren King calls BMF snakes in this scene, so it sounds like it's already some type of bad blood between them. Not sure exactly what that bad blood is, but I'm sure we will find out. But here we are again, we are introduced to yet another new character early in the season for BMF. And again, we have another new character. Her name is Angel and she works in the strip club. So she is sitting down having dinner with none other than Meech himself. So I'm sure there's going to be some type of business dealings between them two. Maybe Meech is, of course, Meech is going to try to wine and dine her because I'm pretty sure Angel is probably more than likely going to be his love interest in Atlanta this season. But I'm also thinking that he's also going to try to do some business dealings with her as well as Angel might be trying to do the exact same thing and work with Meech. So it's possible that she'll connect him with other dealers, or maybe she'll help him move more product or some money through the club. But you can see we do have another new character named Angel. Yet again, another new character. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this picture floating around. We have Detective Bryant and his ex wife Gloria, who we know is a hardworking nurse. We already know, and I'm pretty sure here they're discussing none other than their son Kevin and his whole case. I'm sure Gloria is pissed off with Brian and holds him responsible for everything that's going on with Kevin and getting Kevin into that situation in the first place by leaving that gun inside his house. I'm also pretty sure they're discussing how to actually go forward to help Kevin come up with the money for a good lawyer to help Kevin. And she's basically going to tell him, hey, You made this mess. You fix it. This is all on you. You get our son out of this. And we know that's exactly what Bryant is going to do this season. So here we have T and Lawanda. As we saw in the last episode, Lawanda has been going at T a lot over the whole Markeisha situation. Um, from the looks of it, looks like T is possibly going to try to work something out with Lawanda since she is pregnant with their second child. He could be possibly apologizing to her about the whole Markeisha, situation and bringing her to the family dinner, which, of course, he didn't know she was going to be there, but still apologizing, hurting her feelings and whatnot. I'm also thinking that Lawanda is going to ultimately end up giving T a choice, whether it be her and their two kids or him going with Markeisha and she just leaves altogether. In this scene right here, we have Detective Bryant, who is sitting down with one of his old friends. And I'm pretty sure he's sitting down with him, coming to him to help Kevin. Maybe get some money or some type of, a lawyer friend that can help Kevin. And his friend is none other and also a new character whose name is Frank Andreas. Now, I'm sure everybody remembers him, Christopher Duncan, as none other than Braxton P. Hartnebrig from Jamie Foxx. So he is a new character this season. His name is Frank Andreas, and he also goes by Blaze. Blaze himself is also a kingpin in the streets. So I'm willing to bet that him and Bryant will work out some sort of deal where he possibly gives Bryant some money, or like I said before, he helps him get a great attorney to help Kevin out. And at the same time, Bryant will maybe possibly throw little hints at Blaze to take out T. As we saw Bryant in the last episode put the cigarette through T's picture. So he possibly is going to try to get Blaze to take T out or even get some dirt on him, something that he can use. But I'm sure either way, they will come to some sort of some sort of deal where they will help each other out. But of course, with Blaze being a kingpin, I'm sure at some point it's possibly going to come back and bite Bryant for working with Blaze. And here we have, which we saw earlier, we have Ren King once again. Now, Ren King's full name is Henrietta Andreas. Now, the question is, how was she related to Blaze? As we know, they have the same last name. Now, it has been rumored that she is Blaze's daughter, but nothing has been confirmed as of yet. But what we do know is that they are related. So we saw her in the season 3 before the season started. We saw her in the season 3 trailer going at BMF. So this whole scene right here, this is where it may possibly stem from as to why she is going to war with BMF, as Bryant was asking for Blaze's help to take out T, and Blaze ultimately gives her the order to take them out to help Detective Bryant. So that's it. Please make sure, drop your comments, drop your predictions, and let us know what you think is going to happen based off those scenes that you just saw.